it's Matt Quistor for Crazy Mo Guitar. Here we are, how to play guitar faster, video 1, metal style. Get ready to get metal. Alrighty, so before we start this lick, we need to talk about palm muting. So in this pattern, we're taking our E power chord, open E power chord, which is just the open E string, 2nd fret on the A string. If you wanted to, you can add the 2nd fret on the D string, which is just an octave E. So the pattern is going to be basically taking a strike on the normal strum of the chord and then 2 palm mutes to start off. When I palm mute, I'm keeping that right hand in between the space from the saddle here and the bridge pickup. So it should give me a nice chunk-o-ramus sound here. If you go too far forward, it sounds like you're beating the guitar with a stick. Not that I've tried that, but I can imagine. So, you want to still be able to hear the pitch of the chord. So the pattern, you're going to have basically we're going to count it in groups of 3. It's going to be a strum with 2 mutes, which we're going to do twice. So like a 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And then the last one's going to be a single strum and 1 mute. So it'll be like a 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. That's what's called a subdivision. It's all 8th notes, but we want to kind of hear that subdivision when you're playing it. So you have a 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. So it's strum, mute, mute, strum, mute, mute, strum, mute. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. So you get this whole thing. Alright, so that's our main palm mute pattern for some of the power chords we're going to use. So we start with the open E. Now the run is based on what's called an F-sharp Locrian mode, which starts in the 2nd fret on the low E string, 1st finger, the 2nd fret to 3rd fret to 5th fret. So 1st finger, 2nd finger, pinky. 2nd fret, 3rd fret, 5th fret. It's going to be that same shape for the E and the A string. And then on the D string, we're going to have 2nd fret, 4th fret, which is with the 3rd finger, and then pinky. So it'll be 2nd fret, 4th fret, 5th fret. And that's the only part of the scale we're going to use. Just the first, just a little over an octave plus 1 note. What's very important though is when I'm playing this scale and this run, I'm not planting fingers down. I'm lifting off the fingers, so there's only 1 finger down at a time. So it forces you to prevent your fingers from going way away from the fingerboard. You got to keep them close when they're not being used. Now the pattern, so I walk straight up that scale. Now I walk down to the 4th fret, to the 2nd fret. So I have this. And I walk back up to that 4th fret, back to the pinky and the 5th fret, back to the 3rd finger, back to the 1st finger, and finally the last note is the pinky on the 5th fret on the A string. So here it is slow. Now the whole pattern is going to be muted, so I want to keep a palm mute down. Okay? That's going to be our motif, or our idea that's going to be stuck in between these chords. So let me do it at a few different speeds. So here's again, it's a little slower. Okay, so now the difference in rhythm is we're doing what's called 16th notes on that pattern. So there's 4 notes per beat, where the palm mute pattern is only doing 8th notes, which is going to be 2 notes per beat. So here it is, kind of in context between the first chord and this lick. I'll do the same thing. Okay, so basically when you get used to going between that first chord and the scale, it helps you figure out that rhythm. And I don't want to spend too much time counting it. I want you to rather use your ear and just hear the difference. The notes from the run are twice as fast as what you're doing for the palm mute pattern. So the next chord, we're going to jump from the open E, we do the fill or the motif. Now we go to a C5 power chord, which is the 3rd fret on the A string. So I got my first finger there, I go over 2 frets and down 1 string, that's the 5th interval. That's going to be played in this case by the pinky. You either do your pinky or your 3rd finger, and for this one I use the pinky. It rolls off nicely from that lick. We're ending the pattern with the pinky, so it's already right there. You just drop it down a string and bang, you're right into that power chord. So a little bit of economy of motion here as far as finger choice. So we do the fill. Now right into that same strumming, that 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2, strum mute mute strum mute mute strum mute. All right, so same exact thing. I do the same run. Now here, the next chord is going to be a B power chord. So if you notice what I did fingering wise, my pinky is on that D, that 5th fret, to end the fill. So I'm using my 3rd finger for this power chord. Instead of trying to switch the pinky over here, that's kind of a nightmare to jump that quick, so I'm just going to drop the 3rd finger in. If you're not used to that stretch, then it's good to get used to that. So you have the option of either the pinky or the 3rd finger for a power chord. But I'm right in the 2nd fret on the A string, that's the B. So same exact strum, that 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2. And the same motif or same fill. That's right back to the E5 chord. Same strum, that 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2. And then instead of doing a fill, I jump up to the D power chord, a D5 chord, which is the 5th fret on the A string, on D. Again, first finger's on my root note, over 2 frets, down 1 string with the pinky, that's the interval of a 5th. That's where it gets the name 5th chord. And with that one, I'm just going to do a straight 8th note strum, which you can either do downstrokes, like a 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, or just alternate picking. And that brings you right back around to the start. So here's the whole thing, a little slower, then I'll do it faster. And faster. And there it is, metal. All right, so video 1 of how to play guitar faster in a metal style. So stay tuned for more videos in the series where we explore basically jumping between chords and scales in a fun way, engaging way. And these are patterns that you can take and modify and use for your own ideas or riffs. Take the scale and try a different order of notes for the motif. As usual, subscribe. Check out crazymoguitar.com. Lots more coming. So hopefully stay in touch and continue to play metal.